Welcome to County Culinary Community. I'm Chef Scott Royce of Loyalist Culinary, and we're making this new video series. This video series is going to be all about Prince Edward County. We're going to visit Prince Edward County producers. We're also going to cook some food together, and we're going to visit our community partners and graduates at their workplaces here in Prince Edward County. Welcome to County Culinary Community. I'm Chef Scott Royce of Loyalist College. I'm here now, back from Vicki's Veggies, with a plethora of vegetables that we got from Vicki, and we're gonna make them into something. So my original plan was to do a dish with zucchini and zucchini flowers, but I'm gonna follow Vicki's recommendation. I'm gonna grill some of these carrots. I'm gonna roast some of these beautiful Linzer potatoes, the first of the season. They're really baby. That one doesn't count. And we're gonna put some peas, do a little charred onion, and then we are going to stuff and fry these zucchini flowers. The potatoes are probably gonna take us the longest, so I'm gonna start by just slicing them in half and getting them in my pan on the grill here. I'm trying to pick the ones that are about the similar size so that they cook about the same rate. And the focus today is really just about doing something with fresh vegetables, right? So I wanna encourage everybody to go to their farm stand and pick out something that's fresh and delicious and make something out of it. I'm gonna start with just a little vegetable oil, a little bit of salt. Just gonna give these guys a little toss. So next, I think the best course of action is these carrots. A lot of people trim off this little bit at the bottom. I like it, I think it's cool, so I'll leave a little bit of it on. And I'm removing obviously any green or dirt from the tops of the carrots. Just a little bit of vegetable oil to carry that heat. And it'll also help the seasoning to stick to it a little bit. Give these guys a little pepper too. Pop these guys on the grill. Get on there. Now going through the cooking timing, right? So now I've got my harder vegetables cooking. This one as well, my onion, I want to get it kind of charred as well. So I'm going to get rid of anything that's brown and not appetizing. And then I've got my onion. So because this onion is covered in dirt, I'm not going to put it over my cutting board. I'm going to do it in my hand. I'm going to do some nice rings here and then just grill them up. Just going to go, quarter inch or so and keep them intact so that they don't fall apart on my grill. Because I want that char here, I'm gonna not oil these. Just give them a touch of salt and I'm gonna go right on to the grill. These guys are coming along. No crazy color yet, but that's good. Potatoes are potatoing. Ooh, I'm getting a nice little bit of color on here. And I mean, I didn't add a whole bunch of oil here, but I wanna be looking in the corner right here. Ben, can you get that? Just see that little bit of oil touching the pan there? That's what I'm after. That's gonna give me that color. So I'm just gonna give them a little bit more, right? You can always add, but once they're swimming in oil, it's too late. You see that action? That's what I'm all about right now. That's beautiful. Now, onions. I'm gonna keep them towards the front so they're a little bit lower heat because we want these to get nice and soft and delicious and sweet. So I did that seasoned side down, just a touch more on top, that's great. So because I still have these onions on my board, I'm just gonna give them a quick slice. So I'm just gonna do these in nice long slices. This is gonna help impart that fresh element to this dish. Now I'm going to shell some peas. These are beautiful and they're just gonna impart, again, that freshness, right? I'm not gonna cook them too much. I'm gonna keep a little bit of bite on them. Oh, look at those ones, they're so small. Again, this is going to give a little difference in texture, some lovely green color. Once my potatoes are nearly done, I'm going to just add them in there, give them a quick toss with some seasoning, give them a little pan action, and then we're going to put them right to the plate. Now I got these beautiful zooks. I like them when they're just like this. When they get a little bit larger, even a little bit larger than this one here, I find the center is a little bit slimy. So that's why I like to use these little guys here. Split them straight down the middle here. Now these green ones are a little bit larger, so obviously they're going to take a little bit more time on the grill. Same thing. A little bit of vegetable oil, little seasoning, and I want to make sure they're nicely coated as well. So, got my zooks here. We're going to check in on our other veg. Potatoes are coming along, I would say They're pretty near done. So we're looking at about another 3 or 4 minutes here. How are our carrots? They're getting tender too, but we're getting a nice little char on them. So now I'm gonna sear these guys off. I'm gonna separate them though, my greens and my yellows, because they're different sizes. So I wanna make sure they're gonna cook at this, well, cook at a different rate, but at least that way I'll know which one's what. The same as with the other vegetables, you know, I want these to be tender, but not mushy, right? So we just gotta pick that right time. I have some basil flowers just coming out of the top here because it's been so hot, they're just all going to seed. So I'm gonna use some of these flowers as well for the garnish on my dish. Basil and zucchini are good friends, they taste good together. So I'm gonna bring them all together here and do a little chiffonade. So the finer the better here, but the key is a sharp knife. Now I'm gonna add my basil to my green onion here. So I got my zooks on, let's have a look. Where are they at? Ooh, look at the color just flashing up. So these look a little bit more vibrant than they did before. Nice little grill mark. I'm gonna now point them the opposite way and try to get that cross hatch. Now I should probably flip these onions. Nice. Bringing up that sweetness of these onions. These little guys are looking perfect. So as these smaller carrots are done, I'm just gonna put them on the side here. Ooh, look at the char on that. Have a little check in on my potatoes here. Oh yeah, feeling good about that. I'm just gonna take them off. Now that I got a little more space, I'm gonna give these onions just a little more heat up top. And I bet you, ooh, so these guys are looking great right now. Same idea, I'm just gonna take them off and set them aside. Again, that's lovely. That's summer grilling for me right there. Just nice char, not burnt, nicely cooked, not mushy. And I wanted to do a little bit of grilled halloumi with this dish as well. I love grilled halloumi. If you haven't had it, you must. It kind of has a neutral flavor, so you're able to impart different flavors to it. Ooh. All right, so my halloumi, touch of salt, touch of pepper. With the halloumi, I'm gonna wait just a couple of minutes here. I wanna make sure the temperature is hot. So you wanna have a high heat, sear it quickly, get it off. I'm thinking green zooks are coming off now. And I'm gonna grab the remaining carrots here. Okay, couple of things now. I'm gonna grill this. I still gotta get these stuffed. So I've got my temperature coming up on this side, and I'm gonna make a quick little batter here for our zucchini flowers. So quite typically with these zucchini flowers, you'll see people make a tempura batter, okay? Today we're gonna do a little combination of kind of a tempura beer batter. We're gonna keep it light, but we are going to impart a little bit of local beer as well. So I'm starting with some all-purpose flour. I don't know, that much. And I have some rice flour here. I'm using rice flour because it's going to help crisp up the batter itself. And I'm gonna do about 1/3 of the total mix with rice flour. So, rice flour, hello. A little bit of salt. I'm not gonna put pepper in here because we're gonna have a light colored batter. And you need to mix it, but you don't wanna take those bubbles out. So I'm trying to make this smooth. This is kind of like the consistency of a little bit looser than crepe batter. So I've got my batter ready here. Lovely. I've got this ready to grill. I'm gonna prepare these guys for grilling as well. Just before I do that, I'm gonna get these onions out of here. Just look at these vegetables. You could just eat that just like that. Here's my halloumi. You should hear that sizzle if you're cooking halloumi at home. And don't think that you could ever pick it up with a pair of tongs, right? So a little offset spatula here. Make sure I can get underneath of it. And this is something you don't want to walk away from at this point. So have a look here. It's my halloumi. Oh yeah. But you gotta be gentle, because it will want to stick. If you can get grill marks on this cheese, you've done a great job. So another minute or so on those, and I'm gonna start preparing my zucchini flowers. I'm going to stuff these zucchini flowers with a little bit of buffalo mozz. If I can open it, we're going to cut it into 4. So I'm going to put a clove of garlic and a piece of buffalo mozzarella inside each one. In order to do that, you got to be gentle. So I'm going to remove the stamen from the middle of the flower. You want to be careful that you don't rip the rest of the flour or it won't get coated in the batter. So halloumi first, and then I will stuff. Beautiful. So, stuffing. I'm going to try to choose the smaller cloves, and then I'm going to get that mozz in there. Get in there, buddy. And before we're done, I like to give these guys just a little bit of a twist to try to help keep them closed. I'm going to put it together, and then I'm going to fry the last bit so that it's nice and fresh. So before I do that, I'm going to warm up my potatoes. I'm going to pop my peas in there with them. I just want these peas to get just a little cook on them. I want them to have nice texture as well. I like this as like a summer platter, right? It's looking nice. I'm going to build like a little kind of log cabin of zucchinis here. I'm going to take our carrots, I'm going to pop them in there. Grilled onions here. Just going to add a little bit of sweetness. Just a few little batons of this grilled halloumi. Oh, my halloumi fell apart. It'll taste good still. I've now got my basil. I'm just going to pop it on top here. A little bit of green onion in there as well. How am I going to get those potatoes on there? This became a giant dish. I've got my batter and I've got my zooks. Like I said, thin coating is best here. You just want to make a little crisp for the top. Got my fryer here, about 350, just a little lower than 350. And I'm gently going to drop them in here. So I want to make sure that they're going to float and not sink. And I want to roll them over a touch and make sure that, come here buddy, there we go. So they float, but you want to make sure they get submerged so you get that coating crispy all the way around. Make sure that you add your seasoning while they're still nice and warm. And that salt is going to help to pull some of that residual oil off of them. Oh, look at that cheese. Oh, baby. Here it is. Today's date on a plate. Special thanks to Vicki and her team at Vicki's Veggies for having us today. And I hope you guys have learned something and that maybe you'll tune into the next one. Thanks very much.